Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've officially now seen the last two mentors, and I think I've come to this conclusion. I think mentors are by far the coolest thing that we've seen introduced to the game of Flesh and Blood with Monarch thus far. Now, I'm saying this before any other card is spoiled besides the two mentors, so maybe there's some other just crazy thing that happens in Monarch. But if there is, I don't know if we can take any much more of anything else. Like this is already such a fulfilling set for the game that if something else new happened, I think everyone's heads would just kind of explode collectively. So with that being said, I think this is my favorite new addition to the game. The idea of mentors in general is just so cool. It's both flavorful, which really hits me right aesthetically in the feels, because that's one of the things I love about card games. It's so flavorful to the idea of young heroes being mentored up into their adult forms and like their belief systems. It's not just that though. The mechanics of mentor is just so cool. The fact that it's a completely different card type just come out of left field, like just so, it's just amazing. So let's talk about these two mentors. First of all, we have Lord Sutcliffe. I should just say the beheaded version of Lord Sutcliffe, which is hilarious. A Runeblade mentor. This was spoiled in a fantastic lore video by Dead Summer Art on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to Dead Summer Art, why? Do you not know? He does fantastic lore videos. I hope he keeps pushing out more lore videos, because every time he does one, I'm like, this is what they should look like. This is like the high watermark of lore videos, and he spoiled this one in a fantastic one. I'll put the video like up there. You know how it pops up. I'll put it in a card. And he's a Runeblade mentor. He could defend for 3 if you want him to. He's a Majestic. Can only be found in the Blitz decks. You can only find these mentor cards in the Blitz deck kind of versions of them. I would imagine these get printed somehow into a set. Maybe they're printed as tokens into the booster set, but from what they've said on their gameplay videos, it seems like these are only going to be printed into the Blitz decks for now. But I would imagine they'd reprint these into something that's a little bit more accessible. Or I think they would print the Blitz decks into just like absolute oblivion, which they really should do. Just print as many as humanly possible so that people can get their hands on them and get into the game. He's a mentor, so you can only have him in your deck if your hero is young. At the start of your turn, if he's face down in your arsenal, you can turn him face up. You can't get rid of him once he's in your arsenal. Your opponent can by, Command and Conquer, for example. They can play Command and Conquer, and then all of a sudden he just disappears if it hits, right? Because you just remove the card in the arsenal. But you can't get rid of him necessarily. I guess if you were playing like Azalea and she had a mentor, you could like remove that card. But right now we don't know of any Ranger mentors. Please be Ranger mentors. That'd be so cool. Okay, anyway, whenever you play a non-attack action card, deal 1 arcane damage to each hero and put a lesson counter on Sutcliffe for each damage dealt this way. There's a lot to unpack in that statement, but let's read on. Then if there's 3 or more lesson counters on Sutcliffe, banish him, search your deck for a specialization, just like the other ones, put it face up into Arsenal, and shuffle your deck. Okay, so here's something I didn't think about with the first mentor video that you guys watched, and a lot of you guys watched it and gave a lot of really wonderful comments. I really appreciate that. But one thing that I didn't think about, mentors being only young hero accessible means you can play them in Blitz, but you can also play them in Ultimate Pit Fight. Why didn't I think of that? And this card's insane in Ultimate Pit Fight. If you play a non-attack action card with Sutcliffe in your arsenal, everyone at the table, yourself included, takes 1 point of arcane damage unless they choose to block that. That's incredible. That is incredible, which means you can Lord Sutcliffe at the start of your turn, play 1 non-attack, and if you're playing at a 5-person table and you plus 2 other people choose not to block the arcane damage, it's an immediate proc, get the specialization, play the specialization on the turn if you wanted to, if your non-attack action card has go again. That is just incredible card. This is a very scary one. And there was someone that said on, I forget where it was posted. It was like on a forum or something like that. That said, why would you? Oh, it was in a group chat. I was in a group chat talking about this card, and they said, why would you want to take a point of damage from this? Because it's going to deal you a damage. That's one less encounter that you have to earn from someone else, right? Because if you're taking a point whenever you play the first non-attack action card, technically it's literally whenever you play one, which is even crazier. You could play 3 non-attack action cards, take all 3 points of damage yourself, and trigger this. You don't have to rely on your opponents from taking damage from that arcane to actually trigger this, which is incredible. This card is really, really good for fetching out a specialization. And you can play this as a Shadow Runeblade and Chain, or you can play this as Viscerai, a normal Runeblade, which is also hilarious because Sutcliffe created Viscerai by putting the Arknight shard into his, dead body, his corpse that washed up on the shores of Monastery. He takes the corpse, he does a bunch of stuff to it, he jams an Arknight shard into his chest, and then poof, there's Viscerai. And so you have Lord Sutcliffe as a mentor to young Viscerai, and now you have Lord Sutcliffe's disembodied head as a mentor to the Disciples of Pain that Chain is a part of, which is just so cool. And this is another reason why I love mentors, because it takes the story of these characters and it fleshes it out in card form, not just in I'm gonna go to the website, listen to the lore being read to me by Google while I drive to work, because we all do that, right? Just me, I do that. Okay, not just that, now you get it in card form too, and it's just so fun to see the lore be wrapped up like that. So this is a really good mentor, spoiled by Dead Summer Art. And the next one was spoiled very recently. I mean, I'm making this video an hour after it got spoiled. This one was spoiled by Tolarian Community College. This one, I'll be honest, I expected both of these to be spoiled by both of these wonderful gentlemen, and they were, only because, one, it fits so thematically with what they already do, but two, I mean, it was posted on the spoiler page, and so the way it laid out, we kind of expected these coming. It doesn't matter because these cards are insane. And look at this one. They gave the professor a librarian card, and he's a mentor to, or she, I don't know, you can't tell. It looks like an older gentleman, a mentor to this wonderful little girl in the picture who's Prism, which, by the way, that's Prism over there in grown up form. It's just so cool. Oh my gosh. And the art on this one is going to look just immaculate. If they do some oh man, if they did cold foil versions of this card, how would they even cold foil it? They'd only cold foil the bordering, maybe? I don't know. I guess they could cold foil the staff. Oh, come on, Legend Story Studios. Please do some sort of rainbow foil cold foil for these cards. Oh, they'd be so fantastic. Okay, so, by the way, if you did not go and check out the how to play video that Tolarian Community College posted, I don't know why you aren't checking that out. Again, I just don't understand. Even if you already know how to play the game, it's good to just go and watch, because even just watching that video back, I made my own how to play video a year ago, and I watched this one and I was like, there are so many little things that he decided to put in that I didn't consider when I made that, and I haven't considered since then. And that's the beauty of watching multiple how to plays, and it's the beauty of learning how to play from multiple sources. You pick up something new and something different from each thing that you watch and from each person that you learn from. It's really a fantastic reason why you should gain knowledge from different sources, right? You should have different people that you trust to teach you about things. And it's an absolutely fantastic video. You should go watch it. I'll put it in that thingy up there, but I'm sure he doesn't need me to publicize his video anymore, because it's probably, at this point, I haven't checked, it's probably shot way past view counts for anything I've ever made in my entire YouTube life, which is awesome. Sidebar. Here's a sidebar. There was someone that posted, when I made a video about Tolarian Community College, gonna make a video, which was weird, I guess, when I think about it now. I made a video about someone gonna make a video. Someone said the inclusion or the introduction of Tolarian Community College into the world of Flesh and Blood doesn't necessarily make that much of a difference. It's really about people trying the game for themselves. And there's some merit to that comment. There's some like merit to the idea that, you know, whether or not someone that has a bunch of viewers makes a video about the game or not, it's literally going to come down to someone actually playing the game for themselves. That is true. But I will also say this. I'll counter with this. Public perception of what this game is as a playable game, not just an investable game, and exposure are two incredibly important things. And a video made by someone who is a fantastic how to play video maker and just a talker or you know, a conversationalist, I don't even know how I'd say that, about, you know, Magic the Gathering, how to play it and the meta and that sort of thing, that lends a lot of credence to your game, in this case Legend Story Studios' Flesh and Blood, being a game of playables, like being a game that's all about playing. That lends so much credibility to that. And as far as exposure is concerned, when you have someone make a video and when the view counts for that video immediately eclipse like your own personal, and this is Legend Story Studios, immediately eclipse your own personal how to play video that you posted like when the game released, when you released your game, that goes a long way towards exposure. And that is a huge, huge thing. So I will say, while it is true that it comes down to someone sitting down and actually playing the game for themselves to see if they like it, more people will actually do that and go through that process if they know about the game and if they see that the game is playable. So that's my shtick. That's what I have to say about that. The Librarian is the perfect illusionist card. I apologize for going on that tangent. This is the perfect illusionist card. This is the best mentor of the four, perhaps, for the class that it belongs to. I don't know. Maybe that's not true, but I think it is. It blocks 2. That's the weakest part about this card. The best part of this card is this. Once per turn effect, whenever you create a Spectral Shield token, you draw a card. You draw a card. Then if there's 3 or more lesson counters on this, after you put a lesson counter for, you know, creating a Spectral Shield token, you banish it and search for your specialization, and then you can, like, put it face up into your arsenal. This is crazy. Don't forget, Prism can make a Spectral Shield token by pitching 2 resources and banishing a card from Soul, and it's an instant speed, which means you can do it on your turn, and you can do it on your opponent's turn, which means you can draw a card on your turn from the Librarian, and you can draw a card on your opponent's turn from the Librarian just by pitching, banishing a card from Soul, and recycling basically the card that you pitched. Not to mention, if you play that card, which I've already forgot the name of, the one that creates 3 Spectral Shield tokens, you will draw a card. Now, here's the crazy thing. Do you draw 3 cards from playing that with the Librarian in Arsenal? Based on the wording, I think you do. Whenever you create a Spectral Shield token, draw a card. If you create 3, do you draw 3 cards, or do you draw 1 per the creation of a Spectral Shield token? That's what really kind of has me interested. If you draw 3 cards off of 1 playing of the create 3 Spectral Shields, what would that essentially look like? If you had 4 cards in hand, the one that creates the 3 Spectral Shields, the one that you pitch, because I think it costs 3, that card costs 3, so you'd play it, you'd pitch 3 for it, you'd have 2 cards left in your hand, you'd draw 3 cards up to a 5-card hand. That is so gross. Oh my god. This card's so good. This card's so good, and it fetches you a specialization and puts it in Arsenal so you can immediately play it. Oh, this is so gross. That's a fantastic card. If you run 2 of in your Blitz deck or in your Ultimate Pit Fight deck, you're just happy anytime you draw this card because you Arsenal it, next turn flip it over, just go. Just like fill your hand. Even if you just draw 1 card off of playing that 3-card combo, doesn't even matter. It's still super good. These cards are amazing. This is my favorite new card type in the game. I really hope they do stuff like this going forward. I have a feeling that this is kind of where they're pushing the game with just varied types of cards. Instead of just like investing into the heroes that already exist, we're just going to make new card types. We're going to make new heroes. We're going to make new classes. and we're just going to fill the game with as many new avenues of things that you can try and that you can fall in love with. And then you're going to look down. There's going to be 30 heroes. There's going to be like mentors for those heroes. There's going to be card pools just all over the place that you can grab little things from. And you're going to have like 3 or 4 like pet classes and decks that you just go to whenever, and it's gonna be fantastic. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. If you guys are hyped, maybe you can make that number up there go to that number. Literally one person needs to click the red button, and then that number goes to that number, which is pretty crazy. I thank you so much for making this number get bigger. That makes my heart so happy. I hope you guys enjoy this video. As always, thanks for watching.